We are back on the Stunt Dyna build. Yes, building me another Dyna into a stunt bike because I love them. And I missed it, and we're back, and we did a bunch of stuff. We got a Big Bear motor mount. Trent is putting a...
Need the VIN.
Shit. We just put a Thundermax in. Trent is putting the map in. He's going to do some mapping for this thing because it needed tuned really, really bad because look how hot my pipes got.
I'm going to do some mapping. Call me Christopher Columbus. I'm going to draw a map.
What would that be, a mapographer?
Mapper? I don't know. What did they call him back in the day? Somebody tell me.
Gangster mapper?
Gangster mapper.
Christopher Columbus was a gangster mapper. Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to tune this thing. It's almost ready to ride. We got a Big Bear. We got the necessities. The oil pan mod is done. It's got rear shocks, some Legends arcs on the back. It's got a Big Bear in the front, OG 2-point motor mount, so we do not break the motor cases. I don't want to deal with that. This bike's too pristine. And we got a Thundermax in it, so we can tune it, have a rev limiter. The motor can be safe. I'm not going to blow nothing up. I don't want to hurt this bike. It's way, way too pretty. Front suspension is clapped. That still sucks. Spoke rims suck, but hopefully she's just about lot ready.
I still need the VIN.
Yeah. My glasses. So what Trent's doing right now is he is registering the VIN, registering the bike. You have to register the bike to the Thundermax when you install it, and then it'll bring up a bunch of maps and things. This is typing work right here. Click clacking.
Once you register your Thundermax to your bike, register your bike, all that, you send that information to Thundermax, and then it notices that there's no tune loaded in the Thundermax yet. So this pops up, and it says, would you like to load a map into your Thundermax? And you select yes. And then it'll pull up throttle by wire, throttle by cable, V-Rod, exhaust series mod, you know, whatever. Just have your, what the? All right.
What is that about?
Just pop-ups for the computer, updates for the computer.
We don't use this computer for anything but Thundermax.
But Thundermax, yeah.
You got to have a
God,
PC
okay.
computer, and we use Mac for everything around here, so we had to buy this computer for Thundermax tuning.
You select throttle by cable, and these are all of the tunes that Thundermax offers for throttle by cable applications. So,
Would you say it's a plethora?
I would say it's a plethora. Would you have a plethora?
I would say it is a plethora.
It is a plethora. It breaks it down by like engine type, family, all that stuff. So, engine type is size. There's 103, 95, 88, which that's what this is. They have twin cam, Evo. There's M8 down here somewhere mixed in. Sportster. I got everything. You just got to kind of go through and pick your poison. So we've got an 88-inch stock 01 to 05, but it's not a stock head pipe.
Stage dual slip-ons, brother.
Here we go. Here's a stock. You want a Fat Cat Thunderheader stock?
Thunderheader's probably pretty close.
Is that a 95? Nope. 88 stock Thunderheader. Whoa, there we go. There it is. All right. Model Softail. Yeah, cam stock, mufflers, Softail, stock pistons.
Dyna's gonna be different because it's an A motor versus a B.
Yeah, so they have a Vance and Hines.
2-in-1?
Yeah.
Is it the Pro pipe?
Yep.
Man, that was a good pipe. Sucks
Yeah.
they discontinued it. Like the only good exhaust they ever made, too.
Yep. And this is the stock 2005.
Beautiful.
The heads are the
Let's
05
go for
heads.
air cleaner.
Air cleaner, high flow.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's pretty much good enough. If you can get a good high-flowing 2-in-1 or whatever you have that's close to it, and then an intake that's close to it, then you can run some auto tunes from there, and it will adjust for the most part and get you really, really close. And if you're not satisfied with that, then you can run some data logs and email those. Wow, I can't see nothing now. You can email those to Thundermax, and they will do new data logs for you. They're pretty helpful. They're really helpful. If you call them, just bug the shit out of them. They're out there for you. That's what they have customer service for. And that's why they have all this fancy technology. Look at what Trent's doing right now. What's she doing?
Writing the map onto the module right now. Takes a little while. Current displayed map was successfully written to module. We're loaded.
Doesn't the run switch need to be on?
Yeah, it is.
Oh. So that's that. Set the rev limiter at 5750. I don't like to go really high with the rev limiter because I want to be able to whop, pop, pop, smack the rev limiter real easy and fast and hard without really beating up my motor. And that being said, next step is we're going to throw some race techs in this dude just to get some suspension in it and some new fluid because the front end is mega clapped. We've also got some real fancy trees. Look at that piece of jewelry. Willie Woo, Pro 1. He's been hooking it up for a long time, been the homie for a long time, love his stuff. We're going to run those with our angle kit. That's basically what we developed our angle kit off of, is those trees, and it works the best with those trees, so we are going to run those. And I have a DX front end that I am going to put on this, but I'm waiting for some cartridges. Dirty from Centers Only, Brendan Foley, to everyone that doesn't know him as well as I do. He's sending me a set of cartridges that he had, because I have DX lower legs that we're going to polish. So the whole front end will be nice and flossy. And we got wheels coming too. And we're going to get this thing together. And I want to go hit the lot and ride some wheelies on it. She ain't drifting so well because the stock 88's really gutless. And we'll see. But we got a clutch, a chain. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. Here we go.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. My name's Trent Mercado. This is Kruesi Originals. We are back on Ryan's 05 Dyna. If you want to take a look over here, everything's already tore apart. We got the front end off. Why do we have the front end off? Because we're putting on a nice flossy set of Pro 1 triple trees and some Race Tech springs in the forks and Blood lubricant fork oil. We just got set up with Blood. They're local here in Phoenix. I think they're out in Scottsdale. Corey Kaczynski over at Specific Suspension runs this pretty much religiously in all of his front ends, so I know of, for Harley application. And his race team runs Blood lubricants in all their race bikes. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. Everything's already tore apart. I got the forks over there. I'm just going to dump the fluid, throw the springs in, put some preload in it, put some lubricant in it, or fork fluid, whatever, in it, put it all back together, and Ryan might put on a show for you guys, hopefully by the end of the day. It's already like 3 o'clock, so we'll see how today goes. So taking these off, it's always one of the scariest things to do, because they like to, like, when it finally lets go, it lets go. Not so. Oh, that hit me in the toe. Ooh, pinky toe. Like I was saying, they usually, like, not so much on the 39s, you can kind of control it a little more, but the 49 mil stuff, it blows like a bomb. It's pretty crazy. Fork cap is off. I'm just gonna dump the fluid, put springs in it, and put the fluid back in it. We're not gonna take them apart and rebuild them, because, I mean, when you're just dropping springs in, it's not necessary.
Hey, I'm Ryan. Just Trent over there. He's doing some other stuff quietly. Yeah. I got some Pro 1 trees. I think he talked about this already. From our boy Willie Woo. Oh, they're dirty.
Oh, I put fingerprints on them.
Tommy polished these up for me. We have a big polisher here. Polished them. Super sick. I'm going to put these together. These go, we actually developed our angle kit with the Pro 1 trees. These go really well with them. That's why I wanted to run them, and Willie's our boy. We've been running his trees for a long time. They come with the axle. They come with a whole bunch of stuff. The axle is a bolt-in style, which I also like. I got a little Loctite of the red on the end of that bad boy. I could be putting this together wrong. Oh, there she is. You spin it in. It's got a nice place for a wrench. I don't know what size wrench that is. Do you?
Croissant.
Croissant wrench?
The crescent wrench, yeah.
It's a French. It's a French wrench.
It's the French size croissant.
I'm gonna see if it's hooked up to something normal. 7/8. Man, I'm good.
I told you.
Say get it about that tight. She's probably pretty good. Tom!
You put Loctite on that?
Yeah. I need some neck bearings. Hopefully we have neck bearings so this project's over. We're running different fork springs. We're running 90s. We normally run the heaviest ones and then set them on the lighter side of things, but those are back ordered, right? So we're on 90s, and I'm not familiar with preload on that. I normally just flush them with the 95s.
Half inch above?
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't like a stiff front end. I like them a little soft so it kind of digs in, and then I make up for it with the fork oil and the proper damping. Damping?
Dampening.
I know I've been corrected many times, but...
Tell us what it is below, please.
Tell me what it is below. Please correct my grammar below, please. I enjoy the shit out of it. Let's go half inch and just run it. That front end's temporary, too, because Dirty's supposed to be bringing me out a DX front end.
Dear day.
This weekend.
It's for sure this weekend.
It is coming out for sure this weekend.
Yes.
You gonna come out to the drift event or what?
No, that's Supercross.
Oh, Jesus.
Nerds.
We have a drift event this weekend, and Trent's riding stunt shows. Modded Culture down in Tucson. I'm bringing the vet out. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be way too late for you guys to go when you see this video. That's it. I got this dude in here. I need bearings, Tom. Do we got neck bearings?
No, they get you a set.
The racketeering world of the insurance world. makes it very hard, and they're trying to make stunt shows go away. They've made getting insurance for motorcycles, for stunt competitions and stunt shows almost impossible, and if you can get it, it is so forking expensive that no one can pay for it. So most shows you're watching, probably illegal. And gonna get people in a whole shitload of trouble. Well, I'm gonna pause right there because I ain't got no gosh darn bearings. I guess I could pop the races out of the trees. We'll do that.
I'm gonna go cut this thing. Safety squints. They're OSHA approved. Now this guy's gonna get a little tricky because I just need to cut right at the end of that little arrow. How about them apples?
Ooh, pretty toasty. That's a bearing race. These are pretty cooked. This bike's only got 8,900 miles on it. The neck bearings look like they've never been greased, probably since the day the bike was bought, which they probably hadn't been.
We don't have any neck bearings on the wall for Ryan's 05 Dyna, so I'm going to ride my 05 Dyna down to the Ramjet to get some neck bearings.
Because he's got neck bearings in his 05 Dyna. It needs some, though.
It could benefit from some neck bearings.
Yep, Tom's getting my trees, actually, that I'm taking off, that I'm in a machine so he can put the angle kit on and polish them. It's a beautiful motorcycle. I tried to swindle him out of his paint set, but he wasn't having it.
Maybe the next bike. Bye.
So I cut one of those other ones way too short, so we have some PVC in case we do that, and I'm gonna cut one right.
You want to start out to rotate this way?
Away from the cutter or towards the cutter?
Counterclockwise. If you're turning into it, you want to do that.
Okay.
Turn away.
Away from it.
And
All
then
right.
you shouldn't even need to run a saw with this, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll cut
You know
it.
my middle initial is P for perfect.
It actually stands for Paul, but right on.
Yeah, I come from a family of hillbillies where everyone has two names.
If P is for perfect and the K is for conceited.
So, now that you've watched the thumbnail and you saw that we did a bleeding of Trent to get this fluid,
Slice me open.
we are actually putting blood in this thing. Blood fork oil. This was recommended to us by our friend Corey Tazinski.
Yes.
You got it, yeah.
Did it.
Yeah, you've been practicing.
You got it right, Corey. I have been practicing. From Specific Suspension, it's what he uses. He highly recommends it, and Corey really knows suspension. He's really good, so I want to try it out because we've been using Bel Ray forever, and Bel Ray is also very, very good. But this is
They're local to Phoenix too, which we kind of like.
it's expensive fork oil, so that being said, let's hope it works really, really well because this will be the first time trying it out. There's no gold valves in this. There's no nothing. All we did was dump the shit out, put a Race Tech spring in it, and we're going to put fluid in it and see how she feels. 11 ounces in a 39 millimeter. I don't care how long of tubes you have. The tubes do not conduct how much fluid goes into your front end. It's about this here. I want to see what this thing feels like pumping it up.
Pump the lower slider on the stanchion to get all the fluid down below the damper rod and get all the air bubbles out of it, blah, blah, blah. Put the cap back on, give her a feel.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, you are a lot heavier than I.
I mean, the spring feels good, but there's no valving. It's just the stock dampening rod in there, so it feels like
The rebound's too
feels
quick.
like there's zero dampening at all. It's just a springy front end.
Yeah.
Feels like a stock front end with a better spring. It's got less sag. Spring rate feels good.
It seems like there's no rebound. It just like bounces right back.
Yeah, like the fluid's doing nothing because stock dampening rod. I wish we could pull it out, but they have zero. They're nothing. You know, especially in this low rider. I think they got the two small holes, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if it had a gold valve in there, it'd be a different story. But like I said, I got a DX front end coming. I'm going to put a DX front end in it, so that's better than it was because it was clapped. Did they have fluid in them? Or were they just...
Yeah, yeah, it had fluid in it.
Man,
I left it over there for a while, let it drain for a minute.
Pump it out and all that shit?
Yeah, pumped it out, and then I had it upside down for like 10 minutes.
There's that. I'm still waiting on neck bearings.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I still gotta drain this, put a spring in it, and shit.
One more side. This is basically just a cheap, quick fix for the front end. Race Tech springs are cheapish if you just do the springs and fluid just like we did. You know, you didn't got to rebuild it if you're not leaking. You could just pop the cap, pump the juice out of them, throw a spring in, throw some good fluid in it. You're gonna have a better front end. Is it gonna be as good as putting a gold valve in? Definitely not, not whatsoever. Like, valving is everything in suspension. The spring is nothing. Spring just basically holds ride height. The suspension is, the valving is what makes suspension good. Stock Harley front ends have zero valving. They just have a rod with a couple holes in it, and that's about it. You can hear Trent back there squirting his juice out. But they have just a tiny little dampening rod with tiny little holes, and that's what slows the flow of the oil. But it does nothing, relatively nothing, to be honest. That's why the stock front ends suck. But this is better than nothing. If you want to get your bike to sit up and not be sagging and clapping, this will at least get you there. I'll show you what it's like when we take this thing out and ride it and all that good stuff. But for now, it's good enough until the DX front end comes in and I can put all that together. I got the bearing on. See all the snow on this thing? I put it in the freezer and froze it, and the bearing just went whoop, slid right on. I did give her a little press down to make sure it was seated, but slid right on, and she's frozen like a some beach somewhere. I got 2 new races in. I beat those dudes in already. I'm going to throw a little grist in this guy before I put this on here. I'm gonna need your hands, Trent.
Need the mitts, huh?
Many mitts. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little grease up in here, get her greasy. Oh, that's fucking greasy. That dude's really cold. That is gonna freeze my hands for sure. I also need to grease up this bearing. We've got several how to pack a bearing full of grease videos, which they make tools for this, I know, but I really don't feel like buying a tool that I don't need, that I can do this by hand. See this gap? You're packing that dude full of grease till it comes out of here. Pack. See it squirt out the top? She's packed. Just pack her till she pumps out the top. You put it in there and just push it and it just goes and just squirts, pushes shit right through it. It's just a thing you put it on, you just push it and it, oh yeah, it just stays full of grease all the time, yep.
It's for like the flat rate mechanic. That's like racing the clock, you know, you just, there you go.
I've only worked in one shop ever that had one of those in it, and that was Nasty, and I didn't use it because I feel like it took more time, because you got to put it in a press. It's really hard to push. So you got to like set up the press, put it in there, do all that bullshit. I'd rather just grab some grease on my hand and be done with it. I'm not wasting any, and clean as a surgeon. Like a surgeon, greasing bearings for the very first time. Seal, keep a finger on that dude for me. I'm gonna slide this guy up in there. Oh, that shit's cold. Handy. Curses, I gotta freaking put this dude on real quick, I forgot about. This is the adapter for an eyebrow mount. She bolts on, so if you're gonna run an eyebrow or a bottom mount, you can go either way. I don't know why anybody would wanna run their shit on the bottom. I think that's just a horrible look. What hardware is it? Let's see here. Button heads go in there?
Yep.
I'm gonna hit these with some red because they're never coming out again. Hate button heads personally, but keeps them out the way. Out the way. That's a 1/4 bolt. It's probably 120 inch-pounds if I had to guess. That'd be the torque spec. I'm just gonna make them tight as shit.
Why don't you like button heads?
I'll show you. As soon as I go to tighten it, there's not that much biting surface right there. So they tend to just round right out before you get them very tight. They're one-time use only. See, she's toast. That thing ain't ever coming out again. Unless I chisel it out. There's that dude, greasy hands and all. Sure, we'll wipe that off. Tree. Man, I wish I had a fancy bolt to go on the top. It comes with a fancy bolt to go on the top.
Yep, and spacers to lock it down. I had to put one spacer in mine.
Where do you put that at?
Under the bolt head.
Right here?
Yeah, or else the bolt bottoms out before you could adjust the neck bearing.
Access for different lengths, huh?
Yeah.
Or different neck sets?
Yeah.
That's really nice. No Loctite on this. Maybe anti-seize if anything, to be honest. And you can release.
And release.
Release. That's a fine looking set of trees right there. And I'd like to run my cables right up through that, which means I gotta undo them. That sucks, but.
Bracket gets in the way.
Here's some Alloy Art polyurethane bushings. Highly, highly recommend them. These are all on KruesiOriginals.com. Everything we're putting on is on KruesiOriginals.com. And everything you buy on KruesiOriginals.com, there's you a chance to win a custom motorcycle. They're tight like a tiger. This bushing's just a little bit fatter than the other ones. You're a little bit of a bitch, huh? There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
That's it, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Yes. Man, they go in so much nicer in these trees than they do in a stock set of trees. Yeah. Stock set of trees is really tight.
Real tight, yeah. Certified hammer.
That's right. This is the stem pinch bolt. I put just a little bit of grease on it because it's a stainless bolt going into aluminum on trees, and I just rather it not gall up. This guy's gonna stay loose for now until we set the neck bearings a little bit later on.
Okay, let's get these in before you get that fork leg over here. Again, stainless bolt in aluminum threads. Just a little dab of anti-seize.
Which, on billet aluminum. So,
Billet, okay.
not to make any kind of confusion out there and things, but you know, you should Loctite primary stuff and everything on the motor and stuff like that. But on trees, when they have a squeezing clamp force like that, they're under a sprung load the whole time. When they're under a sprung load, they're already basically being held into place. They can't really back out very much because the shit is sprung. It's pulling on the threads all the time. So when you put Loctite in a billet aluminum or aluminum tree period, and it's sprung, you tend to take the threads with you when you loosen the stuff up. So on triple tree clamps that are sprung like this and stock ones, I tend to anti-seize those, torque them with a torque wrench, which we'll go over how to torque these really nice. These are 1/4-20s, right?
Yeah.
So that way, it being sprung, you're not gonna take everything with you. And by everything, I mean the
Threads.
freaking threads, because that tends to happen. A little bit of anti-seize, not a bunch, just a little bit so it's smooth and it doesn't gall the threads when you take them out. This is our one part of the angle kit. This goes on the risers. This is your riser bolt. This is just your bump stop basically for that. This will be your new steering stop. And then there's another part we'll bolt on next, but this is your main piece right here. The other part is where you adjust the angle. This is just your basic bump stop. These are the same on all models. This is a cheat code. If you're stunt riding, this is a monster cheat code. If you break your steering stops on your trees, you can just get this. This costs less than one tree, top or bottom, considerably less. And you can set your steering angle wherever you want to. We have from factory setting, a little tiny deeper than factory, which is always better no matter what. And we have all the way to damn near touching your gas tank, which I'm gonna throw as much angle on this as I can, which this is a lowrider, so it has more rake in the neck. So there's always been the debate that the lowrider has more rake in the neck or in the trees. I believe that the early models is in the neck itself.
Like it's a wide glide frame.
Yeah, that's basically what it is the lowrider is a wide glide frame, but the 06s and up, those were all in the trees. The late models were straight trees. The wide glide, the super glide, everything had the same frame. You hold this dude up for me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's started. I'm gonna leave it loose, get the other side going. This thing will thread up a whole bunch more once it compresses those bushings into place and presses them in real tight. I just kind of have them hand pressed in there. We're doing this, you know, fast and furious like.
Not only does it have to work, it has to look good too.
That's right. We're gonna show you how to do this the right way, not just the way. It is the way. Good. So, those are started. These are 45 foot-pounds. See what I mean by how much this thing's gonna draw them bushings in once you torque stuff? So, you'll have lots of thread engagement by the time you got her torqued down. Beautiful. All right, there's step one. We have to unplug the headlight. On socket. Got no steering stops at this moment, so I really don't want to slap this off my gas tank, because my gas tank is beautiful. All right, there's that boot of it. So we got a long ways to go. We're gonna undo the clutch cable. We're gonna pop the clutch cable back out. We'll run it through here. We're gonna run the wiring back through here. Probably run the everything through this centerpiece to make it look nice. Here is stock steering right there. We're gonna get her about right here. Ooh man, she's got a crank, dude. Good. Gotta go the big guy on the lowrider.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying.
So on the lowrider, you have to use the biggest steering stop basically because of the rake. You can't get it as deep. Like with a Super Glide, you can go all the way to the smallest steering stop and you can crank a bunch of angle.
It's also with the stock trees.
Yeah.
Because
so
the bolt on the stock trees is behind the fork.
this is gonna be a good test.
And the Pro ones are in front.
Hold that, dude. Can you push the bolt through? I got it.
There we go.
So that side is threaded. Pull this guy back. Let's get a look.
Yeah.
Oh, I can get more angle
Yeah.
for sure. So
with the stock tree though, the bolt, it's like this amount of materials back here.
this is about the same. This is back just a little bit, which actually brings the handlebars closer to you, which is nice. So the trees bring the bars just a hair closer to you. It's also going to allow us to get more angle out of the steering. So let's go to the next size down and see what she looks like. That's the next size. We got 3 different sizes from regular to extreme. Man, we could go even more.
Dude, it does, so when it's fully cranked, it lines up your outer tube right with the neck.
I think if I went much more, my handlebars could be in my lap.
It does take some getting used to, like locking the bars because they're a little bit closer, but it forces you to lean back a little bit more,
Yeah.
which balances everything out. Yeah.
Should I go farther?
I think that's about like where my setup is on my Super Glide, but I have
I'm
like the
lined
small
right
guys.
up with the neck right now.
Yeah.
You have the small one on?
I have the small ones on, yeah. And I'm like right about there too.
How much clearance we got over here? We still got a good amount of
A
clearance.
good amount of clearance, yeah.
Because stock is right. That's where stock is with these. That's where these trees stock angle is. And then we're, man, that's like 2 or 3 inches of more steering angle. Which when it comes to drifting, that's huge. Steering, just like a drift car, steering angle is everything. So that's pretty nice. Which we could probably, I'm not going to go any further. That keeps my tank nice and safe.
Yeah, definitely safe.
That's a ton. If you look at this straight on, my fork tube is dead nuts lined on with the stem of the neck right there. See that? From straight on, lined up with the neck, lined up with the tube. That's a ton of angle. And this thing looks like it's gonna be really tall in the front.
Well, you got these like flushed out.
Yeah, I might put her back down. So over on that side over there, get the wrench on, and he's gonna hold it in place, and I'm gonna tighten it on this side. So you can keep that lined up where you need it to be.
You might run into some issues with all that wiring right there with the lowrider because of the gauges up here.
Yeah, but once we get it all up into the neck and out of the way,
Yeah.
right now it's totally routed wrong. We'll have to redo all that, but man, it's pretty styling. We'll get the front wheel on. We'll get all this stuff back on, and then I'm gonna lightly snug the neck bearings. We're not gonna tighten the neck bearings until we put it on the ground, and I can like spin the front end around with the wheel on and feel it. But Pro 1 trees, Kruesi Originals angle kit. Bang. And if you're not drifting, you're just riding and you wreck and you break the steering stops off any of your trees or anything, you can just buy this kit and set it up with less angle if you want, or however you want to. It is a good, quick, easy fix for a broken set of trees or a whole lot of gangster ass steering angle. You're stunt riding. It's cheat code right there. Cheat code. It's time to go home. That's it. It's on KruesiOriginals.com. Stay posted, like, subscribe. You don't want to miss any of this build. This is going to be my personal stunt bike. I'm getting back on an early model just to have around for fun and having a good time because I love these bikes. We got tons of crazy nicer stuff coming out. We got a whole big thing coming on and a whole lot of other stuff. So remember, go like the video. It helps us out a lot. KruesiOriginals.com. Peace.
I might be wide on the outside. but I'm brown on the inside.
Do it for Leona. Shot.
Fucking, what was it? Patos Locos. Blood in, blood out. You ever see it? What's the matter, Spider? You was scared of me?
You was scared of me, Spider?
I'll squash you like the pinchy bug you are.
Straight putos, home.
I love that movie.